So on Twitter, someone put up a picture of author George R.R. Martin from Game of Thrones, surrounded by, looks like about 10 young ladies for a picture opportunity.
Attractive young ladies?
Yeah. And the person that was tweeting this was just just made the joke about when your Tinder matches are hot, but you've got a book to write. Because George is just sitting there. He doesn't look he's got his arms sort of around the one girl.
Does he have his trademark hat?
No, he's got, like, that's the other thing I was going to mention. He's wearing a Jets baseball hat.
That's interesting. I had heard that he's a Jets fan, but he usually has that, like,
yeah, he's
whatever
got
that hat is.
Yeah, like the English cap that the gents over there wear.
That's the one.
The Jeff cap.
Is that what it is?
That's a type of that hat, yeah.
Anyway.
But this is a Jets, at Jets, Jets hat.
Does he bend the brim?
It looks like it's one of those ones that comes curved. But he is not wearing it well because it's a little high on his head. The back's pushed in a little bit. He does not look comfortable wearing a regular baseball hat. Anyway, that got me to thinking. Rumors are, again, these are rumors, that his next book is tentatively scheduled for spring of next year.
Really?
Yes. Now, that was a little while ago that those rumors were floating around, so whether or not they're still true, I have no idea. But do you think... So there's supposed to be this book, and then one more is supposed to be the end, because there's supposed to be allegedly seven books total. With the TV show being as far along as it is and surpassing the books, do you think it would hurt his book sales if the final one isn't out before the end of the show? Because, like, how many... Because my guess is there's a lot of the fans of the books are also watching the show, but not necessarily the other way around. I feel like there's more people watching the show than there are reading the books, right?
Probably.
I mean, maybe it's picked up a little bit recently, but most people I talk to, like, I have a handful of friends that have read the books, but I have two handfuls of friends who watch the show.
I mean, if you read the books, you're obviously going to get the sixth book. I don't think that anyone who reads the book will watch 2 or 3 episodes and say, well, I already know what's going to happen this season. I'm not going to buy the book.
I wasn't thinking so much with the sixth book, because if it does come out in March, it'll be, a month before the show airs for for that season. But I was thinking more for the final book, the 7th book. Because if it takes him as long to write the last book as it's taken him to write the 6th book, the show's going to be over. So is he going to lose sales because the 7th book is going to be so far out?
Well, see, here's what I would do if I were George R.R. Martin, which I'm not, because I'm not a Jets fan.
But tell us if you were.
See, here would be the ultimate moneymaker, is you either tell or pay HBO to slightly alter the ending, and then you publicize that. You say, hey, HBO is doing the final show, but it's not going to be like the book, so you might as well still read the book.
But there was the whole thing from the show's early, beginnings, where he told, 2 or 3 people at HBO how the book was going to end in case he wasn't alive to finish it.
I know. I mean, would you read the book if you saw the show before the 7th book comes out?
That's where I'm kind of like, on the fence, because I've read all the books at this point. I'm gonna, if the next one comes out in March, I'm gonna be a sucker that's gonna get it. And, I'm going to want to try and read it and finish it before the season, or I'll hold off watching the season until I finish the book. But
right.
I don't know if I want to wait 4, 5, 6 years for the final book if the show's going to be ending, whether it goes 7 or 8 seasons, chances are it'll still be done before the 7th book.
Right. See, I'm in a worse position because I don't even watch the show. I've seen only the first season, so I'm going to be at the mercy of the internet.
So
When whichever one comes out first, whether it's the show or the book, odds are it'll probably be the show.
right.
I'm going to have to go internet dark as best I can. I'm going to have to go up to the wall myself.
Send you the Night's Watch. Well, is there a reason you haven't continued the show?
I just don't have HBO.
Okay, that's the only reason.
It's a monetary reason.
I got you. Okay, all right. I didn't know if there was something else. You just weren't a fan of the show in general, or
The show. I mean, I don't not like the show.
yeah,
It's just there's a lot of television.
yes, there certainly is. You've got Gotham to watch.
No, Supergirl's on now.
Supergirl, Flash,
Yep, Last Man on Earth, Walking Dead,
plenty to watch.
Blackish.
All right. That was just something I was contemplating while I was at work watching training videos at my new job.
Somebody should have just put a reply like, "Hey George, get right in that book. Quit farting around on Tinder."
Yeah. That would have been that would be funny though if like if you're a chick and you're on Tinder in New Mexico and it's like, "Oh, George R. Martin?
George R.
Do we match? Do we match?"
See, if I were a girl and I matched with him, I would just try and get some nuggets of information from him. So how does the last book end?
I'm sure he's probably got some crazy stories of fans trying to get some info out of him. I'm sure there's people that offer him money or other other goods and services. Yeah, but
Well, he is a big
could probably
Fantastic Four fan.
he could probably just release a book about that. Well, if he's a Fantastic Four fan, he should be in charge of rebooting the series.
That'd be interesting.
Fantastic Four set at the Watch or
We forge our chains
set
at the
north.
Baxter Building in the neutral zone. Negative zone, not the neutral zone. That's football.
Yes,
Negative zone. That's Fantastic Four.
yes. Please,
Quite different.
please make sure of the difference there. All right. Speaking of football, how do we do Week 10? It's in the books.
Where are we talking about football? Week 10. You and I did better than both the favorites home and the ELO model. So there's that.
That's a plus.
We got kind of hammered on some of these stupid games. Where was one we really got wrong? Dallas didn't even win,
Nope.
and they lost by 4, so that didn't get us.
We
St. Louis got killed. That
Yeah,
didn't help.
we both picked Oakland,
We both picked Oakland,
both picked Denver,
Denver,
and Cincinnati.
and Cincy. Yeah. So when we got it wrong, we really got it wrong. Go big or go home, I guess.
Yeah.
Some of them we got right. Some of these nifty little ones. But, I mean, the weird trend was a lot of these favorites didn't even win. Green Bay didn't win. St. Louis didn't win. New Orleans didn't win. Philly didn't win. Baltimore. Oakland. Denver. Seattle.
New England didn't cover.
Cincy. Oh, right. They didn't cover.
They won the game, but they didn't cover.
Well,
yeah.
narrowly. Subjectively, they won.
Yeah. And so I had a reverse teaser going.
Ooh, who'd you pick?
I had Jacksonville.
Wow.
I had the Cardinals at -3.5. Jacksonville was
2.5.
what? No, but on this reverse they were. What were they? I forget.
What-
It was like 1 or 1.5 or something like that.
Is
I
it 6
forget.
points that it swings? Or
Yes.
7? 6? So
Yeah.
you covered that one.
Yeah. And then all I needed were the stupid Giants to run out the clock. Instead, they give the ball back to Brady with 1 timeout and 1:50 left.
Oh, you were probably so excited.
The Giants just needed to win, didn't matter by how much. Yeah, because they were +0.5 on my reverse teaser,
Oh boy.
and they did not win. So, and then the Cards ended up covering their their reverse spread of -3.5. So the Giants cost me a little bit there. I did win a 4-team regular parlay,
Whoa, good job.
which is nice. But yeah, who did I take in that? I had
Not Philly.
nope. I had the Panthers at -4.5, the Steelers at -5.5, the Jags at +5.5, and the Cardinals at +3.5.
So you benefited from Big Ben coming in
Yeah, I
as
mean,
a reliever.
even without him, I had a feeling that Landry Jones would be fine because
Or that Johnny Manziel was going to poop the bed.
yeah, Cleveland sucks.
I
But
love that the first throw just squirts out of his hand. Like, oh, that sets the tone.
and really, squirt is the best adjective there.
That's exactly what it did.
Yeah, Landry Jones was set to start. Basically, I guess obviously Big Ben was okay to play, but they didn't want to put him in against the Browns unless they absolutely had to. Turns out they absolutely had to.
I
And
know, but that seems like such a game. Like you're wagering your whole season for a win against the Browns. Like, why don't you just keep Vic and I don't know.
Vic was listed as inactive. I don't know if there's something with an injury that they haven't reported yet, or
No, I think it's just they didn't want to dress him.
okay, that could be.
They dressed Landry for the starter, Ben in case, and as it turns out, they needed that in case.
Yeah, after what, the first series?
Yeah. But even still, it's like if they're riddled with injuries enough that if Ben really goes down with something else, or if he aggravates that foot, then you're really screwed. You're wagering your whole season for this win against the Browns.
Yeah,
and I'm not
but
saying they didn't need it.
Well, right, that's the thing. They kind of need to because Cincinnati's running away with the division.
Well, not anymore.
Well, they lost one game. Pittsburgh's lost what, 4?
Yeah.
So
They're half game past Buffalo, and then there's the log jam of 4 and 5 teams.
right. So I mean Pittsburgh kind of needs as obviously as many wins they could get because most likely, unless Cincinnati starts going into a tailspin, they'll end up winning the division, and Pittsburgh will have to be a wild card.
Wow.
It's not impossible, but
Right.
yeah. And speaking of Cincy, how do you lose to the Texans? How do you score? I can't even talk. I can't even talk.
Here's the thing: if an undefeated team is going to lose, my gut feeling is that they're going to lose like to a bad team. Like that's the only reasonable thing. You're going to be geared up for these big games, and then something like Houston, you're not going to have them on the radar.
Yeah, I mean, I
and
guess
then Andy Dalton has his characteristic off game.
Yeah.
Just get it out.
But it's not like they were missing AJ Green. It's not like their running back duo was hurt. I mean, the Texans aren't good. I mean, I think maybe it's like you said, Cincinnati was just looking past Houston because they have Arizona this week. It was just one of those trap games, and for whatever reason, Dalton just reverted back to his old ways for one game. But I don't know. That frustrated me on a fantasy standpoint. So
frustrated. Well, it's like me on a golf course. I can't play 18 good games or 18 good holes. It's like Andy Dalton can't play 16 good games.
Yeah, I guess.
It's got to have a stinker somewhere. Got to have a double bogey in there somewhere. Or a double par.
Have a snowman, a frosty.
Have a snowman.
All right. What do you say we make our Week 11 picks here?
Wouldn't be the same without that snowman there. So it's the last week of buys. We say bye to the buys. Cleveland, New Orleans, Giants, and Pittsburgh.
Yes. And they're gone.
And then we say bye to the buys.
Thursday night's a real stunner of a game.
Well, at least they're not doing themed jerseys.
They're not doing it this week?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought they were doing it for like 4 or 5 more games.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's gross.
Thursday theme jerseys. NFL. Type. Yeah, I thought there was. Yep. They're
Are you serious?
They're Color Rush.
Ugh.
I think they're doing it the rest of the Thursday night games the rest of the way.
Well, they want to get their money, I guess.
I think. Um, I can't find any pictures on this page, but anyway,
I
we
got the
have
Titans one.
yeah. There's Tennessee at Jacksonville. Jacksonville -3. Jacksonville's not so bad. Not
I
great.
know.
Not great. Not so bad.
They're good. They're on a roll though.
Yeah, they've Bortles is getting a nice little connection with Hearns and Robinson, which is helping. They have, a solid, decent running game in Yeldon. He's a guy that's just gonna get better, I think.
Ew.
Um,
I just found the Jacksonville ones.
are they like the goldish yellow ones with
Yeah.
like do they have black sleeves?
No. Well, there's like black caps on the sleeves, if that makes sense. Like right where the shoulder is.
Okay.
But it's like I don't even know, like a mustard yellow gold.
Yeah, it's almost goldish.
Ugh.
Well,
I don't know about that.
what color is Tennessee's?
I can
Are they
find
are
that.
they? I think they're going their powder blue. Like
Probably.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it is. They're going the powder blue tops and bottoms. So hopefully this doesn't cause any colorblind issues.
Oh yeah, theirs are
Like
they're blue. They're just adding like a blue pants.
yeah.
Ugh.
NFL. All right.
Oh,
Well, we
let's
can't.
pick a complimentary color. Mustard yellow.
Jacksonville, you're good enough for mustard.
Guys, Joanne Fabric had like a blowout on mustard yellow. We really need to put this to good use.
Yeah. Jacksonville,
got it,
until
Jacksonville.
until you get better, we're not gonna spring for the extra bright colors.
Maybe it's like a punishment. Guys, you're doing too well for Jacksonville. We're going to take you down a peg and make you wear these hideous jerseys.
That could be.
Do you think their fans are going to buy them? Like, oh man, I can't wait
Oh,
to get
I'm-
these horrible mustard yellow
I'm
jerseys.
I'm sure there's gonna be people with them. There always is. I mean, the Tennessee one's not bad because they wear that blue anyway.
Oh yeah.
And then, I mean, they're just adding the blue pants to the mix too.
Well, that was like the Jets. They wear green anyway. It's just green pants.
Right,
But
exactly.
Buffalo, they had those new.
Well, the
jerseys.
Buffalo red is their third alternate, but they don't obviously always wear them with red pants.
Right.
But it was funny because apparently Rex Ryan has a little bit of trouble with colors. So he said there were points in the game where he wasn't sure which team was which.
Put a hat on him.
All right. Who are you taking? Jacksonville's -3.
Well, naturally, what's going to happen is I just traded Blake Bortles in my fantasy league because I needed to upgrade into another position. So naturally, Blake Bortles is probably going to have a really good game.
He's gonna have 4 touchdowns, 350
Probably.
yards, no interceptions.
Yep. In his nice mustard gold, and then he's going to say, "Guys, we need to wear these for the rest of the season. Ride the wave."
Nope. During the post game interview, he's going to be asked about the jerseys, and after putting up that performance, he goes, "These jerseys are good as gold."
Oh, there it is. I
If
was trying to
there's-
think of something with gold in it. You
If
got
there's
it.
if there's a gold pun, yeah, I think the gold pun bet is plus 150.
Yeah,
but-
we wear gold-plated diapers.
Yeah. So you're going to take Jacksonville
Yeah.
strictly on the fact that you traded Blake Bortles.
Oh yeah. Karma.
All right, I'm gonna take Tennessee. Tennessee's defense is solid. Jacksonville, I'm not ready to jump on them completely just yet.
I know, but their passing game always finds a way. Alan Hearns has scored touchdowns in like the last 6 games.
So he's due for a no.
No, he's due to keep going.
Well, last week they played Baltimore, whose defense is terrible. Week before they played the Jets, lost by 5. I think Mariota has one of his better games this year.
Well, he's got it sooner or later, right?
Well, he's had a few solid games already. I think he's getting another one this week against Jacksonville.
Yeah, but has he lived up to the first pick hype?
With the team that he's on,
Well, that's true.
I wouldn't be calling him a bust or anything like that by any means.
He's
I
no
mean,
Ryan Leaf.
and granted, he's missed a couple games from injuries and stuff, but he's shown flashes of greatness. So if they get a couple more pieces, a little better offensive line to help protect him, so he doesn't have to scramble as much, maybe another top tier type receiver, that could be a turn of the tide, so to speak, for Tennessee.
Sure.
But I'm going to take them +3 in Jacksonville.
Well, I don't know that pick is good as gold, but we'll see. 43
It's
is
as,
the over-under.
It's as good as powder blue.
It's as good as powder blue.
Not the same ring. I'm going to say under.
Yeah, that's probably it.
And we say that, and they're going to score 40 each, but
What has the highest Thursday total been? Haven't had one in the above 45 since week 6. Atlanta and New Orleans. The rest are sort of like mid-20s, mid-30s.
Cincinnati was 41 against Cleveland.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, sort of.
All right, I'll take the under.
Oh, boy. This game is worse than last week, and we said last week's was a pooper. Or was it the week before?
Well, last week was Buffalo Jets.
The week before, Cleveland,
was
Cincy.
Cleveland Cincy. Yeah.
Yeah, this is worse.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
All right. Let's move on. Oakland.
Not a good job by you, NFL.
Oakland at Detroit. Oakland's -1.5.
Oh, they knew everyone was going to go see the Hunger Games anyway. So maybe that is a good job.
Guys, and Jessica Jones comes out on Netflix on the 20th, so
Guys, week 11, we can't have anything good.
Yeah.
Just put Tennessee Jacksonville in there.
Yeah.
Oh, good thinking. Good
All right.
thinking.
keep that spot open. We'll flex it.
Gotta go see Hunger Games. How does it end? I don't know. I didn't read the book. The movie came first, then I'll read the book. It's like Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Oakland visiting Detroit, coming off that big win in Lambeau.
West Coast going 1, 2, 3 Central Time. So it's like 2/3 of a rule,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You just got to break it down into decimals or fractions.
Okay, it's like a multiplier. It's not quite there.
Exactly.
Wow, Detroit beats Green Bay, but it's like, do they blow their wad against Green Bay? And it's like, we don't even care. It's more like a moral victory.
That was the first time Detroit beat them in Lambeau since like 91, I think.
Since they wore leather helmets.
I think you're right. I'm going to take Oakland.
Yeah, me too.
Oakland's coming off a loss. Detroit's defense, granted, they did hold Green Bay to 16 points, but I think that was more of Green Bay's bad offense than Detroit's defense. And I think Derek Carr is going to have some fun chucking the ball against Detroit.
Yeah, he's still pretty capable of scoring points. And plus, Oakland loses against Minnesota, who's kind of the front runner in the NFC North. Except, Detroit beating Green Bay, I don't know that that's not quite the feat that we usually think it is, associated with an Aaron Rodgers-led Green Bay Packers.
Right, exactly.
Still a good moral victory.
We
did it.
Do the Packers miss the playoffs?
Oh, let's see. Presumably, they're going to have to get a wild card.
I mean, they're not out of their division by any means, but
No, but they really don't look like a team that's going to... Where are they? Let's see. They're one game behind Minnesota, and they are tied for 5th with Atlanta. And coincidentally, they are 2 games ahead of everybody right now. Huh. Yeah, I think it's reasonable that they make the playoffs, but only because everybody else is kind of... There's so many 4 and 5 teams.
yeah. Right now in the AFC the Colts are in, but that's just because their division's so terrible. Then they're 4 and 5. Yeah, I mean, I keep thinking, oh, this is the week Rodgers and Green Bay turns it around. They look like Rodgers and Green Bay of old, but this is the third loss in a row, right?
1, 2.
Third loss First time since
Yeah.
way
Has
back
he
when.
ever lost 3 in a row?
I think so, but it was super early in his career.
Super early.
Yeah.
Early Aaron Rodgers.
Are you surprised that the Vikings are 7-2?
A little bit.
I am. Well, honestly, because I thought Green Bay was going to be better. I
Well,
mean,
there's
not
that.
not that 6-3 is anything to scoff at, but I thought the Vikings would be a little closer, just hovering above 500 at this point. But
Well, it's mostly that Teddy hasn't really elevated himself.
well, he's just doing just enough.
Right.
He's not putting up big gaudy numbers, but the defense is keeping him in games. Adrian Peterson had like 200 yards rushing last week.
Yeah.
He's leading the league in rushing, but no one's really, talking about it too much. But I mean, Teddy's just got to not turn the ball over and keep the offense moving. And, that's what he's been able to do.
Let's give up something to talk about. Yeah. Was that out loud? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
We'll have you record a little bit longer version. That could be our intro music.
Works for me.
We'll get rid of the traditional Entertainment Buddha dance mix that Benson's put together, and we'll throw in you singing karaoke with no music behind you. That way we can't get sued.
Yeah, the last time they lost at least 3 in a row was 2008 when they lost 5 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, how did that happen? Well, it happened.
Well, it did. Yeah. All right. Back. We got off track. Back to Oakland, Detroit. I'm taking Oakland. Who are you taking?
Oakland, same thing.
Uh,
They're pretty good.
yeah,
Well, they're not bad.
They're
Detroit's bad.
they're better than most expected, though. Their one defense player, Alden Smith, was announced that he's suspended for a year from his off the field issues. But I assume that takes effect immediately. But anyway, over under 48.
Over under 48. Oh boy, it's a lot of faith in a team like Detroit. Oakland's clearly got the capability. It's more
Right.
like, can Detroit keep up?
Yeah, it's one of those. Is Oakland going to put up 40 themselves, and then Detroit's just got to score a touchdown, a field goal kind of thing, or you think Detroit?
We did enough.
What? All right, so Detroit put up 18. They were on a bye. Where were they this week? Detroit. Kansas City, they put up 10. They put up 19 against Minnesota. They are not scored. They put up 30.
I'll say under.
They put up 37 against Chicago. That might have been their highest scoring game all year. 37 against Chicago.
You've sold me. I'm saying under.
All right. I'm gonna say under also,
Good.
because I think it's gonna be more of a one-sided affair. Sorry, I'm just going back and looking at Detroit's previous scores, and so far 37 is the highest.
Into the archives.
Where are they? Nope, put up 12. Yeah, they are not a high-scoring team at all.
Flipping through the file cabinets, the manila folders.
Pretty bad.
That's you flipping through the manila folders. That's the sound it makes. It's the same sound as flipping through a short box of comic books.
So Detroit's put up over 30 points one time, over 20 points twice. Everything else has been in the teens or less. So that is not a good sign. So
if you're trying to get me to change, it's not working.
No, I'm just confirming. I'm
Okay.
confirming. So all right, both taking the under, both taking Oakland.
Peace of mind.
Indianapolis at Atlanta. Atlanta's -6, coming off the bye. Well, both of them are. Andrew Luck is out.
Right. Hasselbeck's in.
Hasselbeck's in. Hasselbeck's won 2 games this year.
From the booth to the huddle. See, here's the thing. It's 6 points, which is way too high. So my spidey sense says Hotlanta wins, but Indy covers.
Right, because it's been a few weeks since Atlanta's had, one of their high-scoring breakout games.
Yep.
Well, you could say it's been more than a few weeks, but um, I'm kind of in the same boat. If Matt Hasselbeck comes out, gets the balls to the playmakers, you know, I'm with you. I don't know if they win outright, but I think they can at least keep it close. So
Yeah, Hasselbeck is at least adequate.
I'll take Indy at +6.
He's like an aged Marcus Mariota. Or Mariota is just like a young Matt Hasselbeck.
I don't know if Hasselbeck ever had the scrambling ability that Mariota has,
Well, that's true.
but I see your point. All right, so we're both taking Indy. Over under 47.5.
47.
0.5.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to take the over.
I'm going to take the under, only because it's Hasselbeck coupled with a Falcons team that has not been as hot as of late. They've kind of cooled off after their first couple of games.
So they're more like cool Lanta, not hot
Cool
Lanta.
Lanta, tepid Lanta,
Okay.
room temperature Lanta,
Mild Lanta.
mild Lanta. I like it. There it is.
All right. I'm going to take the over. I think Atlanta kind of bounces back a little bit. I don't know if they put up 45 or anything like that, but I think this is going to be a little more of a high-scoring game for both teams.
That's fine. You just wanted to change because you picked 2 unders. You didn't want to go 3 unders in a row.
I'm not writing them down, so I'll take your word on that.
Ooh,
I'm gonna forget who I take tomorrow, so
that's fine.
that's why we record this, and you're our stenographer, annotator.
Stenograph? Is that the verb? I stenograph.
Potographer.
I don't know. I don't want to think about this too long.
All right, think about this one. Jets at the Texans. Jets are -2.5.
See, I do want to think about this one because as I aforementioned, I gave up Bortles, so I've had to look to another option.
Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, how did you know? So I was looking at Fitzpatrick,
Well,
and
I can't imagine it was a Houston quarterback, but
I've got something in the works. And the thing is, the rub is that Fitzpatrick had surgery on his non-throwing hand this week, and whether he plays will be dictated by how he feels at Wednesday's practice.
So what do you do if he doesn't play? What's your backup?
What was my backup? I had it.
Matt Hasselbeck.
Oh, I think it was actually.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So this week in fantasy, you're either starting Fitzpatrick or Hasselbeck.
Well, in my league scoring, the top projected quarterbacks who are available are in descending order: Brian Hoyer, Hasselbeck, Fitzpatrick, Alex Smith, Sanchez, Cutler. I kind of want to take Cutler, but that's a gamble.
They've been putting up points.
I know. He's been pretty solid the last couple of games, but his player notes clearly state do not avoid Cutler in fantasy. In big bold letters.
Yeah.
So it's like
I think I had him on my fantasy team 1 year, like 3 or 4 years ago, and I said never again. And I've held true to that.
Stand my ground.
I'm gonna take the Jets at -2.5.
Right. I'll make the largely contingent selection of the Jets also, but I would be less likely to trust that if Fitzpatrick doesn't play.
See, I think even if Fitzpatrick doesn't play,
who's their backup? It's not Geno, is it?
Geno.
Oh Lord.
I mean, unless he's hurt again, but I mean he's the one who came in when Fitzpatrick got hurt last game, when he actually hurt his non-throwing hand.
Yeah, but Geno's terrible.
Yeah, but so is Houston.
I mean, Geno's really terrible. Who's terribler?
Hoyer or Mallet?
Listen, this is Geno's last. Didn't he throw like 50 interceptions the last game? Oh, that was last year. Never mind.
50.
Well,
okay.
I'm using hyperbole.
New York has a better running game, and they have a better defense.
Well, they have better receivers too.
and better
It's just
receivers.
You gotta have a competent quarterback,
Right.
which is not Geno Smith.
Yeah. All right. Over under 41.5. So you're going back to your pick. You're saying if Fitzpatrick does not play, you want the Texans.
No, not necessarily. I just feel
All right.
less secure in favoring the Jets.
Well, I think if Fitzpatrick doesn't play, the line's going to change.
Sure.
It's going to swing a little closer to. I don't know if it goes in
No.
favor of Houston, but it swings closer to an even push.
No, it won't go towards Houston. It might.
If Geno plays,
Is there such thing as a half-point favorite?
yeah. I mean, that's a push.
I don't know where. I don't know if we've ever seen that.
No, it's. I mean, if it's half point, they just call it a push. So I don't know if they actually
It's good
put,
enough for government work.
Yeah. So my point is, I guess they're assuming that Fitzpatrick is starting, and that's why it's -2.5.
Right.
So if he doesn't start, I could see that going closer to a push.
Or you just put a cardboard cutout and the line stays at 2.5.
Yes, exactly. Over under 41.5. It's a little low.
It is. On the contingency that Fitzpatrick plays, I'd say over.
All right, I'm gonna say over either way.
Because they have a good receiving core.
Yeah,
And then Houston's going to have to play catch up.
yeah, they'll just have to be chucking up to DeAndre Hopkins.
Yep.
All right.
That is precisely what's going to happen. We telegraphed it. Take it to the bank. Except if Fitzpatrick doesn't play, then don't take it to the bank.
Yeah, exactly.
And sit on it.
I don't know about this one. Tampa at Philly. Philly's -5.5.
You're envious of Sam Bradford and the fact that he couldn't remember half the game. You just want to be in that situation. I don't remember that game.
Guys, we were winning, and then something happened, and I don't remember the rest.
Yada, yada, yada. Here I am.
Yada, yada, yada. We lost by 1. I'm only taking Tampa because I have no idea what to expect out of Sanchez.
No faith.
If it's anything like, the end of the Miami game, then Tampa. But 5.5, Tampa's capable of playing solid. Eagles obviously aren't capable of winning the games they're supposed to win, like Miami.
Are you still like not anti Chip Kelly, or have you?
I'm slowly. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm like, all right, maybe this isn't working out. Granted, a lot of Eagles fans were there after week 4, but a lot of them jumped the gun. I tried to keep an open mind a little more. I'd almost like to see maybe one more season.
I would like to see him with a better quarterback. I'm not saying Bradford's bad. It's just I don't think he fits.
Right. And I saw a stat that, in comparison, Nick Foles, who they traded for Bradford, isn't doing any better than Sam Bradford is.
Right. I don't think he's a good fit either.
He's got less touchdowns. Their QBR is basically the same. The only difference being the Rams got, like an extra draft pick or so out of it. So
yeah, they also have Todd Gurley.
Well, yeah,
who's been
that helps. QB for QB wise, it's not really a huge. Nobody won that trade yet.
Sure.
And then going from Bradford to Sanchez, people wanted to bench Bradford earlier this year, but then you're putting in Sanchez, who is he's not really a step up, and he's not that much better that it was worth putting him in at the expense of Sam Bradford's confidence. You know what I mean?
But the Cowboys did just cut Brandon Weeden, so I'm just saying.
If Chip Kelly signs Brandon Weeden, I don't know.
Out.
I might be out on Chip Kelly then. But it's
And we're
just
done.
I think it's just taken a lot longer for the team chemistry to get together. And obviously it took forever for the running game to get going. Sam Bradford, some games looked completely lost. Some games he looked really competent. I think it's just a rep thing, and it's taking longer than people expected.
Yeah, I know I bellyached about DeMarco earlier in the year, but according to my scoring scheme, he's now sixth the sixth best running back.
Yeah, and
So,
with
mea culpa.
and with Ryan Matthews, I'm not sure if he's officially out, but he had a concussion. DeMarco might get more of the probably will get more of the load this Sunday if Matthews does in fact sit out.
Well, they'll give some to Sproles, won't they?
Well, some, but not a
Right.
lot. I mean, they were Matthews and DeMarco were getting pretty even carries, even with Sproles going in from time to time as a receiving back or, a couple carries just to give the other guys a spell. But
Right.
obviously they're going to have to rely on DeMarco, for an extra maybe 10 to 12 carries with, if Matthews is out. So,
Well, that's good news for me.
yes, but I'm still taking Tampa.
Matthews did not take part in Tuesday's practice. His status is still questionable,
Okay.
uncertain. I'm also taking Tampa.
All right.
Not saying they're going to win, but
Yeah.
5.5 is
five and a
enough.
half's a lot of points.
It's enough.
Over under 45.
Ooh, Sam Bradford and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Under.
You mean Sanchez?
Who did I say?
Bradford?
Yeah. See, I don't even remember this pick.
Are they one and the same?
I must be concussed.
I'm going to take the under also.
I don't even remember who the quarterback is. Yada, yada, yada. Then we picked an over-under.
Yeah. So both take Tampa, both take the under.
Oh, boy. What if they lose?
That's
You don't even want to go there.
then it's time to tank the season and get that high draft pick. I mean, I don't know if it's there yet, 'cause I mean, mathematically they're not out of the division.
No, then you sign
Even
Brandon
if they
Whedon.
lose.
Plans within plans.
Well, if they sign Whedon, then we know they're going to tank.
So they're a half
Then
game
we know they're
back,
going for draft picks.
and Giants are on the bye. So they need this to tie.
Yeah.
Pie in the sky.
And really,
Yeah, we'll see.
both Giants and Eagles should have won their games last week. Should have.
Should have.
All right, let's move on.
You can't stop Brady.
It's the
You can
press-
stop Peyton, but can you stop Brock Osweiler?
Chicago's going to try. Denver at Chicago. Chicago's -1.
Wait, what
Is
did I
that
do?
is that the first time Denver hasn't been favored?
Probably at least this season.
Um,
Yeah, I'm going back in the archive.
yeah.
Let's see. Nope. Week 2 at least. KC was favored by 3.
Okay. I think that might have been the only other week then.
Yeah. Elsewise, I don't think they've had a tough road. Tough road to hoe.
Where were they?
That's a bye.
When did I see them?
Green Bay -3 at week 8. I knew there was another.
Oh, right. Okay.
I knew there was another one floating around.
All right.
I think that's been it.
What do you think? Denver's defense not so great last week against Kansas City.
Yeah, I had Denver written down. I changed that. I can do that on Excel. And I can even hit save.
You're
And then
taking
change it
you're
again.
taking Chicago
I'm
-1.
taking Chicago. It's Langford's been all right in place of Forte.
He's
and as we
I
discussed-
would say he's been more than all right.
Well, yeah. And as we discussed, Cutler's been pretty good as of late. And now it's like...
But you have no idea what to expect with Brock Osweiler.
Well, that's true. The wild card. But I don't know that...
They have no running game.
I know.
The only thing they got going is their defense, which gave up 29 to Kansas City last week.
Right. And this time it's in Chicago. So if it's cold, is that going to be enough to rattle the cage?
I don't want to jump on Chicago though, because I don't
You just don't want to bet against Denver.
know if. Well, no, I don't want to bet for Chicago.
Nobody puts Brock Osweiler in a corner.
They did crush St. Louis though last week. I'm gonna take Chicago.
think it's a good choice.
I don't like it, but I'm going to take it. I mainly because I just don't know what to expect out of Osweiler. I mean, it can't be worse than Peyton's performance, right?
I think the real question is, has Brock Osweiler played an NFL game before last week?
I don't know if he started, but I know he's been in. I think it was like towards the end of the season last year, the year before for Denver.
Ooh, I spelled his name right. Good for me. He has 54 career attempts.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was garbage time and week 17 when Peyton didn't need to play.
Right.
All right, over under 41.5.
Chicago's been pretty good as of late.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they carry it. And then Brock Osweiler just sort of hitches his wagon, gets like 20 or so. Plays their level a little bit.
Yeah, Chicago put up 37 against the Rams, and then they put up 22 against San Diego the week before.
Chicago's going to get their points. Ground and pound.
Yeah.
Cold Soldier Field.
Yeah,
like,
I'll take the over.
Can Denver keep pace? That's the question.
I'll take the over 41.5.
That'll work.
Mark it.
Done. And
All
I
right.
hit save, but it doesn't matter because it's Excel. It's not like I used like a calligraphy pen. I could do that though.
All right. Somehow, this next game, St. Louis at Baltimore. Baltimore's -2.
Somehow.
Should Baltimore be a favorite in any game?
I don't know who's injured.
St. Louis is starting Case Keenum at quarterback, so maybe that's why. Nick Foles is. I forget if he's injured or if he's just sitting out.
Worth that many points though? That's weird. That's a big swing. They still got Todd Gurley.
Yeah, I'm gonna take St. Louis.
I have something written down, but let me just double check.
I think their defense bounces back after last week, and Gurley does too because he didn't have a great week last week.
Yeah, Keenum is the projected starter, but why?
I think they were just sitting Foles because hasn't been doing anything.
Why is he sitting? Benched after he failed to throw a touchdown for the fourth time. Demoted in favor of Casey Keenum.
Yeah, pure business decision.
Wow, that's interesting.
Who would you rather have as your QB, Bradford or Foles?
On the Rams?
Well, for any team.
I don't know. I feel like
For your Tecmo Bowl Super Bowl team, would you want Bradford or Foles?
I feel like Bradford wasn't a bad fit for the Rams. I just don't know that he had the tools.
Well, it was that, and I mean, their offensive line wasn't good, so he was always getting knocked down and hurt.
Yeah.
Foles had a great offensive line in Philly, so that made him look better than I think what he really was, which is coming to light this season.
Right.
So would you just flip a coin and say, doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. I'll take St. Louis. I don't know that they should be not favored.
Yeah.
But then again, every time I think that the line is wrong, it's not wrong, and I'm wrong. So
Stop being wrong.
I know. But a lot of the favorites didn't win last week, so it's like, does that continue? I don't know.
Well, I think it doesn't continue.
Well, I already wrote it down, so
Okay.
St. Louis.
What'd
you pick?
I picked the Rams.
You picked the Rams.
Rams are 1-3 away. Ravens are 1-3 at home. So one of those is going to break, unless they tie. Let's hope not. Over under 41.5.
Over.
I'm going to say under.
Beat each other up.
I'm going to say under. I don't think either team scores very many points.
Or either defense can't do a lot of defensing.
Well, we already know Baltimore can't do much defensing.
Exactly. So you're halfway there.
Defending.
Defensing.
Yeah.
Defensing. You're fencing. You're defensing.
I don't see Case Keenum putting up a lot of points.
You don't know that.
You're right. I don't.
He hasn't played a game all season.
Nope, but I don't see it. So I'm going to go with the under.
Okay.
I think it's like one of those stupid 17-10 games.
Those stupid 17-10 game. No, since the extra point got moved, it's going to be an even stupider score.
Interesting fact I saw.
Interesting nugget of information.
Because you and I mean, we've had discussions before about the...
I'll say nougat.
Extra point attempt being moved back.
That's stupid.
Since, I forget which since week 5 or 6, point after attempts are going through 86% of the time, which is higher than last season, which was 84%. Whoa. So kickers have apparently finally adjusted more to the longer distance.
That's probably bad. They move it back. And move it back. And move it back. And suddenly you're kicking out of the stadium, and it's like you have to kick with one of those, what are they, the vortex footballs?
Yeah. Since after week 4, the league's place kickers have converted 86.2% of their kicks, up 2.2% from 2014.
Ugh. Whatever.
But that didn't help Josh Scobie because he couldn't make it past week 3. All right, next game, Dallas at Miami.
Pick 'em. First of 2. So they're saying Dallas is a favorite now that they have Tony Romo back.
Tony Romo is back, yes. I'm gonna take the Cowboys. I'm gonna hop on the Romo Dez train. I think that's the only reason the Cowboys have lost is just because their backup quarterbacks were that terrible. Obviously, they released Whedon. And Miami's
out Whedon.
Miami's not very good. Miami's not good at all. Give me Dallas.
But it's like, what does that?
I might even I'd tease the Cowboys.
I might even be so bold as to tease the Cowboys. I don't know about that.
I might even reverse tease the Cowboys.
Oh, that is bold. You really think they're going to win by more than 7 or 6 or 7?
Dolphins don't have a rush. They don't have a defensive line that's going to give quarterbacks problems.
Yeah, but they've got a pretty good offense.
It's not that good. They put up 20 against the Eagles. It's not exactly screaming.
No, but Dallas's defense kind of sucks too.
Well, it does, but I think with Romo back, that's going to obviously open up the passing game a lot more. Him and Dez have such a strong connection, and Jason Witten. I mean, those guys start getting catches, that opens up the running game for McFadden. A rejuvenated McFadden.
Well, I knew he was going to do all right in Dallas.
Well, he's doing even better now that they got rid of Randall. So McFadden's getting the majority of the carries.
Yeah, that by committee garbage is a waste of time. Pick one and take it. Pick one and go with it.
Says this fantasy football owner.
Exactly. Says this armchair coach. I have no qualifications whatsoever except Tecmo Bowl.
That's all you really need.
Which is good as gold.
Yeah. I'll take Dallas.
Tecmo is the new sabermetric. I'm taking Dallas too.
All right. How about the over/under 47?
Over. It's gonna be a pissed off Romo.
So
he took out his rage on enough paper mache. Now it's time to take it out on the gridiron.
You don't think he ate too many? What's the brownie and
Crownies?
Yeah, the crownie combo, the food combo.
Yeah, but now he's got to work them off. Like,
yeah.
Oh man, I shouldn't eat all those crownies. I better do a little extra work.
I'm gonna say under.
Put in some figurative OT.
I'm gonna say under 47.
You just said Romo and Bryant and Witten have a good rapport. You just said
but
that.
I don't think Miami's going to put up a lot of points.
All right.
I don't trust Tannehill. Their running games kind of been up and down the last couple of weeks or so after a strong start with Campbell. I don't know. I don't trust the Dolphins right now. So I'm going to take the under.
I don't trust those frisky fish after they beat my beloved Eagles in the Ace Ventura Bowl.
Yeah.
Laces out, Sturgis. Final 1:00 game. Carolina is the favorite by 7 points when they host the Washington professional football team.
7 points after Washington's impressive demolition of New Orleans.
Yeah, but it's like, is New Orleans good or was that a fluke? Plus, it's Carolina.
Right.
Who has yet to lose. Or is this, like I said, where Carolina looks past Washington and then they lose?
Could be.
Layers upon layers.
Who does?
I'm taking Carolina. They need to show that they are capable of losing.
Carolina
first.
has the Cowboys after Washington.
See, maybe they're looking ahead. Maybe they think, oh no, Romo's coming to town. Oh no.
Look at here's their upcoming games. They're in Washington, or excuse me, they're in Carolina against Washington. They're at Dallas, at New Orleans, home against Atlanta, at the Giants, home against Atlanta, or excuse me, at Atlanta, and then home against the Bucs. That's how they're ending their season.
They're looking towards Dallas because that's
Those,
like the apex of their schedule.
I mean, right now the Falcons are 6-3. They play them twice. The Giants are 500. They play them once, and then everyone else is under 500.
Yeah,
that's a solid. That's a solid shot for them to finish out the season. They don't really play any. I mean, granted, Romo will have a game under his belt, so he'll be back. But if they can beat the Cowboys, then, like I said, they're at New Orleans, then home against the Falcons. I mean, these are all very winnable games the way that Carolina's been playing. That's 7 those. I'm gonna take Carolina. I'm a little concerned about the 7, but I think Washington went a little overboard last week, and I don't know if they can do that again.
See, here's the real question. Yeah, Washington probably.
I'm gonna ride the Carolina train until they kick me off.
As you should.
Over under 45.
I hope I said under. I did. Under.
Yeah, I'll say under also.
Washington scored way too many points.
Yep. Carolina's defense is really good.
Then there's that.
All right. That was easy.
That was easy. That wasn't such a chore.
Favorite
1:00 game.
Mine probably. I don't know.
I got mine.
Maybe Denver, Chicago, just because of the unexpectedness of Brock Osweiler, and the resurgence
the intangible Brock
of
Osweiler.
the resurgence of Jay Cutler as a quarterback.
If Brock Osweiler had a Marvel book, it would be the intangible Brock Osweiler. That would be his adjective. See, my favorite's probably Dallas at Miami. Because
I was going to say that might be my other one.
Miami's got some ground to make up. So does Dallas, and it's like if they can run the table, they might be okay.
Yeah.
So they've got a reason to play. Everybody else, it's maybe one good team versus one not so good team.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the 4:00. So we got Kansas City at San Diego. Kansas City -3.
Battle of the AFC West. What did San Diego do?
San Diego's on a bye.
Ooh, 2 weeks to prepare.
They're a little banged up.
That's fine. They have 2 weeks to prepare.
Kansas City coming off a nice win against Denver.
In San Diego, huh? Phil Rivers has been doing all right this year. Sort of.
Well,
He's not been doing
it's
right.
well, it doesn't help that his receivers keep getting injured.
There's that.
Keenan Allen, I think he's still out, right?
Yeah, he's out.
Pretty sure he's out. What about Floyd? Is he, because he left last game? I'm not sure because he didn't come back, so I don't know if he was due back this week or if he's still out. I haven't checked, to be honest, but
I haven't been apprised to the San Diego receiving corps.
I mean, that's Stevie Johnson and Antonio Gates, and that's about it. He doesn't have too much. I'm gonna go Kansas City.
I'm gonna go.
I think
San Diego.
Well, all Kansas City has to do is get 1 or 2 touchdowns, and then let their kicker kick like 5 field goals, and then
50
they're fine.
field goals.
Yeah, because that's the Andy Reid way.
Sure. Yeah, but then he'll blow it at the end with his poor clock management. Backdoor cover.
Well, if you're up by enough, then it won't matter. But
backdoor cover. What's a timeout? I can stop the clock. Are you serious? Is
why?
that a new rule?
Why is it stopped at 2 minutes? Why,
guys? Why isn't the clock running? Isn't this soccer?
Yeah, where's the stoppage time? Over under 44.5.
They called this football, didn't they? Over.
You think it's gonna go over?
It's gonna be an AFC West shootout. Pew, pew.
Yeah, I'll say over.
See, didn't take much to persuade you.
I just wanted
Pushover.
I just wanted to test you.
You're a pushover.
Just wanted to test you.
Green Bay at Minnesota. Pick 'em.
Another one.
I know. That was the up-to-date line too.
Do
That's a
you-
legit pick 'em.
I mean, if you pick Green Bay, you're basically saying you think Rodgers is gonna come back and have a Rodgers-esque game.
Well, it's more like, are you betting that Rodgers won't want to lose 4 games in a row?
Right. Like against a very tough Minnesota defense.
Oy.
With Adrian Peterson. Green Bay doesn't have much going in the way of a running game.
Well, they never really do.
Doesn't have much going in the way of a passing game either the last couple games. I'm gonna ride the Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater experience.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to bet against Aaron.
I don't want to. Because it might be one of those things where he just comes out and says, guys, what do you, like he did last year when they start off 1-2, he told everyone to relax. I'm gonna take Minnesota.
Here's the real question. What
I
does
might
the ELO
I might
say?
be interested in teasing Minnesota.
Sure.
But
yes, I meant ELO.
so you're taking Green Bay?
That's the one.
All right. I'll take Minnesota over under 45.
If you had to guess who's favored based on ELO, well, Minnesota is the home team.
So Minnesota.
Yeah. Point
Okay.
and a half.
All right.
That might be just a home team advantage there.
Right.
I'm still saying Green Bay. This is just like saying who's going to win the game. It's so easy. Why don't we just do that? So much easier.
Do you take the over or under of 45?
Under.
Yeah.
The frigid Minnesota tundra.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers and the anemic Green Bay offense.
Yeah, Minnesota is not known to put up tons of points either. Well, they put up 30 against Oakland, but
Strike.
wait. Although Green Bay's defense isn't very good. You know what? I'm going to say over. I'm going to change it. I'm going
All right.
over. Over.
Done. Oh.
Over.
Speaking of over, we've got our largest marge, a double digit.
The large march of the
spread.
week.
Largest marge. San Francisco at Seattle. Seattle 12.5 favored.
Yeah, only
Too
double
much.
digit spread this week.
much.
Yeah, I don't really trust Seattle. I don't really trust San Francisco either, but I assume Blaine Gabbert's starting since he won his last outing.
Riding the Blaine Gabbert experience.
Never thought I'd do that, but Seattle's too they're not too good when it comes to the spreads this year. Or to games in general, but I'll take San Francisco just because the spread is too high.
Well, and they're off the bye too, so that's 2 weeks to prepare.
Yeah. You're taking San Francisco?
Yep.
All right. How about the
Gabbert
over
is the starter.
over under 40.5? Is that the lowest?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this week.
that's the lowest of the week.
Oh, let's see. What was the lowest last week? 42.5, and that was over. Oh boy.
No,
A Blaine Gabbert led offense. I can't say. Oh no, never mind. It was
last
41.
week
That was under.
last week was under the Bills and the Jets.
Oh, well then coupled with Blaine Gabbert, I'm gonna say under.
But Gabbert put up 17 points against
I don't
Atlanta
care.
2 weeks ago.
I don't care. I can't put. It's like, ugh. I don't want to put faith in Blaine Gabbert or the Niners, or really Seattle.
I'm gonna say over. Only because Seattle can put up some points. San Francisco, I think, will be able to get a touchdown or two off of Seattle.
A touchdown or two.
Yeah, I'm gonna say over. Though I'm not overly confident about it,
Overly confident
as
about my
as you
selection.
as you might hear in my inflection. But
Yep.
all right, Cincy at Arizona. This is a big one. Cincy at Arizona. Arizona's -4.
8-1 versus 7-2. Oh boy.
Leaders in their respective
4
divisions.
4 points.
Sunday night matchup.
What has Cincinnati done against the NFC this year? Or conversely, what has Arizona done against the AFC? That's what the intern would figure out real quick.
Intern.
Cincy beat Seattle by 3. Cincy... Boy, they really haven't gone over to the NFC yet, have they?
Arizona is 2-2 against the AFC.
Really?
Excuse me. I'm sorry. No, that's not correct because I'm an idiot. They lost to the Steelers and then beat the Ravens at the Browns. So they're 2-1 against the AFC.
Cincy's 1-0 against the AFC. Wow.
I'm gonna take Cincy. I don't know if they win outright, but I think they cover the +4.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Arizona's kind of got a little bit of that fire back after Seattle last week, and they are going to be home. I think Cincinnati's going to bounce back after that embarrassing loss to Houston.
Yeah. I don't know though. What's Cincinnati done when they were in the national games? Is that like their kryptonite? Haven't had one.
Well,
Haven't had one.
They won a Thursday night Week 9 against Cleveland. They covered +12. I think that might have been
good enough. Yeah, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
47.5.
Over under 47.5. I'm gonna take the over.
It seems too easy. Over.
I think it's a
Why wasn't it
game.
higher?
I think both offenses are going to come out firing. Cincinnati because they put up 6 points last week, and Arizona because they're kind of found their groove, perhaps. But I'll take the over.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not higher. But I'm not a handicapper, so what do I know?
Well, maybe that should tell us something. I mean, that's
one speculator.
That's tied for the third highest of the week.
Third highest. Should be higher.
The next one is the highest.
Should be the highest.
We don't have any in the 50s this week.
Nope.
Last week we had 1,
2.
One in the week before. Yeah, no 50s this week. This is a good one. Buffalo at New England.
Is it?
New England -7. Yeah, it is. New England is -7.
Yeah, it is.
Don't ask me that with your little sly smile. Is it? I don't know. New England's -7. Julian Edelman probably out, maybe
No, he's out.
officially.
100%. I thought he had something pretty severe. Yeah, but they've got Amendola or LaFell.
Yeah, but that's not
or
exactly
Gronkowski. But who cares? It doesn't.
well.
I mean,
Well,
just like
you're
their running game, it's like, does it really matter who's
right,
there? It's Tom Brady
right.
and Gronkowski.
Yeah. Buffalo's defense is pretty solid though, but
Yeah, but it's Tyrod Taylor. Can he
yeah, but can
do enough?
I think? I mean, what happened? These two teams played early in the season.
Edelman is likely out for the rest of the season.
Okay.
Serious foot injury.
Week 2 they faced each other.
That's the one.
New England was a 1-point favorite. They won by 8
in Buffalo.
in Buffalo. Correct. This is in New England.
This is at the bell bottom. No, that's not it. At the razor blade.
Yeah. New England's bound some injuries. Their offensive line's hurting. Obviously, they lost Edelman. Deion Lewis is out. Rex Ryan is going to throw everything he has at Tom Brady. I think Buffalo covers. I'm going to take Buffalo.
Yeah, but New England has LeGarrette Blount. He's so... Oh, what's the adjective I want to use?
Forceful?
Dependable?
No, he is. But Buffalo's no slouch themselves when it comes to the running game. And again, New England's offensive line's a little banged up.
Sure.
Any passing plays, Brady's going to have to get rid of it quickly. Rex Ryan loves the blitz. Loves the blitz.
Well, this might be the highest point of their remaining schedule. After this, New England's got at Denver, home for Philly, at Houston, home for Tennessee, at the Jets, at the Dolphins. Mm-hmm. It's like maybe they just make a statement game, put it away early, and make it 5 games in front of Buffalo.
I'll still take Buffalo.
Nearly sew up their playoff picture. I'm taking New England.
Okay.
7's high, but not too high.
If it was 8, would you still
Where's
take
my
New
tipping point?
Yeah.
Probably 9.
All right. We'll see what it is come Sunday morning.
Yeah, we'll see if you change your mind after you've had your eggs.
Over under 48.5.
Over.
Mark it down.
I already did.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, there we go. And as you mentioned, 4 teams on bye: Cleveland, New Orleans, New York Giants, and Pittsburgh. And like you said, last week of the byes. After this, everybody plays.
Full slate. They'll still have 2 4:00 games.
Yes. Do we have 3 this week or just 2?
We have 3.
Okay.
But it's
one
uneven slate.
One more than average.
Yeah.
NFL. All right. As is tradition, we're recording this on a Tuesday, which means tomorrow is New Comic Wednesday.
Is it?
It is.
Every week, they just keep giving us more.
As is tradition. What are some that are catching your eye or that you're excited for this week, or ones that we should be on the lookout for?
Well, I'm excited for the premiere issue of the new Mighty Thor, Jason Aaron's Mighty Thor, which I've been thoroughly enjoying since it's been God of Thunder. Let's see. There's a couple of new Marvel #1s. The Star Wars crossover Vader Down starts. Interesting title. What was the other thing? Oh, Batman limited series, Batman Europa, whatever. Jim Lee's drawing it. Brian Azzarello is writing it, so there's that.
And we got news today that Frank Miller is going to be writing Dark Knight 4.
All his chips in the pot for Dark Knight 3.
Hasn't released Dark Knight 3 yet. First one comes out next week. Is that right?
I think
it's next week.
It's a lot of faith.
Yes. So maybe it's just going based on reputation and assumption, but
it's not going off the quality of Dark Knight 2, that's for sure.
Well, maybe he learned his lesson in.
Admittedly, I haven't read it, but when you name a book The Master Race, I I don't know.
Is there a working title for 4 or not yet?
No.
Okay. Do we know how many issues 3 is supposed to be?
8.
8, but are there? Isn't it like 30 pages and then there's like a mini comic with each one that somehow ties into the main story? That was my understanding when I was reading about it.
I don't
Unless that was just for the first issue.
No, there's a backup.
Okay.
I don't know if it's associated with the story. I can't remember.
Okay. I read something that said it was, but I didn't know if that was accurate or not. So, how's the we mentioned the Flash briefly earlier. How's this season going?
It's pretty good so far. It's
still intrigued and watching closely.
Well, they're really dipping into the multiverse stuff, which, for me, it's like, there's a Flash in another universe. Okay, go on. That's fine. This is typical comic foofery.
Yeah.
But for people who are not familiar with, stuff like that, it's kind of a lot to take in.
Yeah. Now, on the show, do they, when they introduce, the alternate universe characters, do they give much background or explanation, or do they just show up and, fans like you that read comics who are used to something like that just say, okay, that's cool, here we go? Or do they try to explain it more for fans who are like, wait, why is there another one?
Little of both. The Earth 2 Flash largely started out as like a wink to Flash fans last year because his helmet came spinning out of the wormhole.
Okay.
And now this year, it's with this season, it's kind of like, I'm the Flash. No, I'm the Flash. Now, well, I'm from a different world because this isn't my world.
Guys, you're both the Flash.
You're both the Flash.
Ugh. All right. I haven't.
And now there's other versions of similar characters coming over, and it's like, oh, well, in this other world, I'm a bad guy, not a good guy. Oh.
All right. Now I gotta ask because I'm just seeing this here on Facebook, approximately 2 hours ago. You said, I'm going on a Facebook break as of 7 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotta leave.
Any particular reason, like comic reasons or spoiler reasons, or you're just gonna give yourself a little social media break?
I'm getting tired of the internet.
That dang internet, internet, and all that information.
I also want to start getting away from spoilers. We're getting, especially with Star Wars, a month away. We're really getting to that point where it's like, I don't want to see articles. I don't want to see IMDb's. I don't want to see, because it's like it's not even
fan theories, and
spoilers have gotten to the point where it's these innocuous, ambiguously titled things. Like, here's a new character in Force Awakens, or what was it? I saw one the other day. It was so harmlessly worded, but it was just like it essentially painted a picture. And things like Gorilla Grodd's going to be in the next Flash episode. What's like, I kind of want to just be surprised. I want to turn it on and be like, oh, Gorilla Grodd's in this one. Awesome.
Yeah.
Giddy up.
The internet's not good for stuff like that.
Well, and plus with the political climate, it's been a breeding ground for some interesting back and forth.
All right.
I just need to get away. I need to read Star Wars Aftermath. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Sometimes
I need to focus my attention elsewhere.
Sometimes you just need to step away from social media stuff. I understand. I get that.
Off the grid.
But for those who don't want to step away from that stuff, you should definitely check out entertainmentbuddha.com. Matt and Ray have kind of been going crazy with the video game stuff. Actually, Mark had a really good article about Fallout 4's graphics. That's created a bit of a buzz in the comment world, so be sure to check that out. Again, that's on entertainmentbuddha.com, where we make you a better geek, one post at a time. You don't have to be on social media, but you can be on entertainmentbuddha.com. It's easy. Justin, any last parting words?
Well, I'll still be on Twitter, at least for the interim, but that's only because I'm waiting for somebody to use the Ask No Punt hashtag and
yes,
come up with something nice so that I can finally give away this complete copy of Herbie Fully Loaded for the Game Boy Advance. Don't make me up the ante and add something like...
I want to see... Let me...
I don't know. Hannah Montana for the Game Boy Advance. Sealed.
I'm just doing a little checking real quick here.
Oh, Herbie Fully Loaded's a real game.
Oh, I believe you. I just want to see what it was going for on eBay.
Oh, good question.
Looks like average price is $3 to $4.
See, that's a $3 to $4 prize that you didn't have before.
And you said you had the box for it too, right? So
Complete.
Is the box one with Lindsay Lohan on it or without? I see there's a couple.
You're just gonna have to be surprised.
All right. Well, there you go. Guys, this is a $4 value that you could use just by sending us stuff on Twitter.
Should we have a weekly like thing? Something they have to answer or ask or do? Or just use the hashtag?
Well,
it's that simple?
We'll make it a little more difficult than that.
Sure.
But we'll think of something for next week. So, because next week will be week 12. And we'll be moving forward to the end of the regular season of the NFL. So, but yeah, you can follow us on Twitter at @NoPuntIn10DED and use the hashtag AskNoPunt, and perhaps someday you can win Herbie Fully Loaded for Game Boy Advance, a $4 value. Justin, why don't you take us out?
Fully loaded.
Say it in like a dirty, gross, sexy voice.
Fully loaded. Do it sexier.